Hello and welcome to the workshop. On today's episode, we're going to take a look at this Otter scanner that Creality sent me. Now I've got to admit, I've always wanted to try one of these. And when they offered to send me one, I said, sure, why not? That's a nice case. Nice logo on the front. Let's see what's inside. So it looks like we've got a couple of USB-C adapters, cleaning cloth, some reference markers. These are just like sticky dots. Looks like we've got a couple of straps so we don't drop it. That'll be for the bag. What do we got on this side? Instruction manual. Now I'm definitely going to have to read this since this is the first scanner that I've ever used. An after sales card. Now this looks like it'll be some sort of a calibration tool, I would think. Silicon mat. Okay, now for the fun part. Ooh, we've got a little owl. I'm assuming that's probably a test piece. USB cable. Another USB cable. And now let's have a look at the unit itself. Wow, it's quite heavy. Heavier than I expected. That's nice. That's got some good weight to it. Metal body. There's some buttons on the back here. That's where we give it some power. And then you got all these cameras on the front here. Now, like I said before, this is the first scanner that I've used. So I think what I might do is I might pause the video here. I'm going to go read the instructions, load on the software, learn how to use the scanner. Then we can come back to it and see how it performs. So now that I have all the software and the firmware upgraded on the camera, the next thing I need to do is calibrate it, and I'm going to do that by using this calibration board. So the calibration's done and we scored a 97. That's not too bad. So now that I've calibrated the Otter, it's time to do our first test. And I think it's only fitting that we do the owl, right? Now I was reading that if you do it on a flat surface like this, it's best to raise it up a little bit. Now I've got one of my little clear resin pieces here that we can put down and sit the owl on top. Now the reason for that is you want the camera to try and get underneath a little bit, and that way you get a bit more definition. Now speaking of definition, the Otter can scan with up to 0.02 millimeters of accuracy. That sounds crazy. I reckon it could pick up all the wrinkles on my face. I guess we'll find out a bit later. So now that we have our owl in position, we can go to the software, select new project. We can give it a name. I'm going to call this one Test Owl. Now on this next screen, we have a few options. Object, size, feature, accuracy, and exclude flat base. Now object is either normal, face, or body. Ours is normal. And then for size, we have large, medium, and small. And if you hover over the words here, it'll actually give you the dimension. So ours is small. Next is feature. We're going to use geometry. Then we have accuracy, fast or high quality. Ours will be high quality. And then do we want to exclude the flat base? Yes, we do. Okay, so once we selected all them, we can go scan. Now there's a couple of things I want to show you on the camera here. It gives you a little preview screen up here. We have the infrared and the RGB. Now if we need to, we can adjust the exposure by sliding these little bars across. But that seems to be looking alright. Now the other thing I want to show you is this little indicator here. We have move closer at the top and move farther down the bottom. And you'll notice that when I bring the camera in, it goes down to the bottom here, telling me to move further away. And when I pull the camera out, it goes up the top here and tells me to move closer. Now we want it right in the middle here where it says optimal. Just like that. Now once you're ready to start scanning, you can either press the play button up here on the software, or you can press the play button on the back of the camera. Now you'll notice that it's gone to pause, and all we have to do now is move our little owl around here, Now I've got it on a turntable. You don't need it on a turntable, but it does make it a bit easier. If you didn't, all you'd have to do is get the scanner and actually just move it around, just like this. But it is definitely easier to do it on the turntable. Now if you do happen to move the camera too fast or move it away from the subject, it will come up on the screen that the tracking has been lost. All you have to do is put the camera back to where it was before. It'll pick up again and then you can just keep going. So now that we've done a couple of rotations, I'm just going to bring the camera up over its head. Now I'm also going to do the same underneath here. So I'm just going to tilt the camera up to the bottom, then I'm just going to rotate it. Now let's just say you had some really cool detail on the bottom here that you wanted to capture. All you need to do is pause the camera, then we can turn it on its side. Now the only thing you need to do here is you need to make sure you orientate the camera the way it was before. Then we can click resume. And all you need to do is just line your model back up again. There we go, we've picked it up. And now we can start rotating. And if you look at the screen there, it's actually going up underneath now. Now once you feel confident that you've got a good scan, you can just go to the software, hit stop, and you can put your camera down. Yes, we want to complete scanning, and it'll start processing. Now this is where I really like this software, because it gives us options on the side here to either manually process it or do a one-click auto process. Now for people like me who don't know too much about this gear, it's quite nice to have a one-click process, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So while that file is processing, I wanted to mention a few more features of the Otter. Now you guys know that it can already scan with an accuracy of up to 0.02 millimeters, but did you know it has a large scan range? It can scan things as tiny as 10 millimeters or as large as 2000 millimeters. It also has a quick scan speed of up to 20 frames per second, and you can also scan black or metal objects without the need of a spray. And you guys will see that a bit later on in this video, because right now we need to get back to this file. And just like that, we now have a 3D scan of our owl. Now you'll see on the side here that we have a few options that we can look at. We have the raw, the point cloud, the mesh, and the color. Now I'm going to click on the mesh, and you'll notice here that we have a few unwanted items, like this one you can see here. And to get rid of them is quite simple. You hold shift on the keyboard, you draw a circle around it, that highlights it, then press delete, and it's gone. So all I need to do now is just go around, find all the little bits it's picked up, and just get rid of them. So what do you guys think of that? That doesn't look too bad at all, hey? So now that we have that model, we can go ahead and export it. And we'll give it a name. We'll call it Test Owl again. Now we have an option here to save it as an STL, which means I'll be able to 3D print it. And I'm sure Nicole's gonna love that, because once I 3D print it, she'll be able to mold it. And there is our owl. How cool is that? So I just mentioned to Nicole that I was going to scan my face, and what did you say?
Do me.
Do me. All right, so instead of doing my face, we're going to do Nicole's face. I mean, I don't mind because now we get to see how many wrinkles you have.
I've got way more.
All right, let's do it. Okay, we've got the main camera set up here so you guys can see what I'm doing with the scanner. And then I've also got another camera down here on the screen so you guys will get to see what the computer's actually doing. So, are you ready?
Ready.
All right, now you got to stay still. All right?
Okay.
All right, let's do it. So we just go new project, Nicole head. Now for this one, we go face and exclude the base, yes, and scan. All right, we good to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I need to do is get our position. Actually, we'll go this way. Once we're ready, we push the play button and we are on. Okay. Well, it's looking pretty good so far. Actually, it looks a bit creepy, doesn't it? Wow. Look at that. That's pretty cool, hey? I guess you can't really talk, can you? I'll try and be as quick as I can. You know what you remind me of?
What?
Fiona in Shrek. With your green head.
Thanks.
Okay, I think we're done. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right. I do look like Fiona out of Shrek.
That looks unreal. Look at that.
That's so cool.
How awesome is it? Alright, well, I think what we might do is we'll do the one-click process and then we'll see how it looks once it's all done. Okay, we're all done. Are you ready to see it?
Ready.
Ta-da!
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
It looks so good, hey. And you know what? Your wrinkles actually don't look that bad. I mean, you got a couple up top here, but that's not too bad.
Yeah, they're frown lines though.
And have a look inside here. You ready? Look how creepy this looks.
Oh, wow. It looks like I'm asleep.
Look at that. That's so cool.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait to try and 3D print this.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
So now that I've done the owl and Nicole's face, I thought it might be pretty cool to try and do Elliot, our channel mascot. Imagine if I could 3D print some of him. I'd be able to make him small enough to put in my eggs. Now there's a lot of detail on Elliot. So I think we should be pretty good here. I think I should pick it all up. Okay, that looks like Elliot is all done. It's looking pretty good. Have a look at Elliot. I just cleaned him up. He just had a little bit of waste on the side here and he looks amazing. Have a look at these scales. They look so good. I can't wait to 3D print it. So while we're waiting for Elliot to finish printing, I thought we'd do one more scan, except this time I want to do a full body scan. So we are now 17% of the way printing Elliot, and we are nearly done meshing Courtney. And look at this that I just noticed. There are 2,460,413 points Wow. I'm assuming that's all the little dots. Here we go. She is finished. Have a look at that. I've got myself a little mini Courtney. I've got a little bit of cleanup on the back there. But apart from that, that looks just like her. I should print one of these out and give it to her for Christmas. Let's have a look at the back here. Look at all the wrinkles in the pants. That's awesome. And her hair worked really well. I'm impressed. Well, as you can see in the background there, Elliot is still printing. Now I thought, while I wait, let's try and do something tiny, like this mini skull. And there we have our finished skull. I think that looks really good. Just like the original. So it looks like Elliot's finished printing. Looks pretty good. I'll take him off the plate, give him a clean up, and then we'll have a closer look. And here we have our 3D printed Elliot. Have a look at that. He looks amazing. Now in the printer software, I was able to reduce the size and print smaller Elliots. Look at these little baby ones. These ones are going to be perfect for my dragon eggs. Now, even though I reduced the size, the quality is still there. Have a look at this. Check out the scales on the side there. It looks perfect. The hands, the feet, the face, everything looks really good. Even on these real tiny ones, look at the scales on the side there. Everything turned out really well. Now, in addition to printing Elliot, I've also printed Nicole's face, and I'm sure you can guess which one this is. But first, I think before we unveil that, let's have a look at the face. Are you ready? Ta-da! Have a look at that. That looks so good. I don't know if it's creepy or not, but I love it. The wrinkles, the eyebrows, it's even picked up the little mole that Nicole's got on the side of her face. Look at that. This thing looks amazing. It actually reminds me of that magic mirror in Shrek. You know, the talking one? I'm glad this one doesn't talk though. I reckon it'd freak me out. But that looks absolutely amazing. Now, are you guys ready to see what's under the blanket? Here we go. Ta-da! I have a mini Courtney. Have a look at the detail on this. Her face looks amazing. The pants, all the wrinkles, the hair, everything looks so cool. I can't believe I've got a little figurine of my daughter. That's amazing. I can't believe it. Like, I think the possibilities of this machine are endless. Well guys, what do you think of my 3D prints? Do you like them? If you do, let me know by hitting that like button. Now before we end this video, I want to send a massive thank you to Creality for sending me the scanner. Now if you guys want to try one for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. You didn't think I was going to end this video without scanning my face, did ya?